Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sons and Daughters of Liberty. For some of you, probably not going to find this a surprise that I actually did a little research on DLive, even though I'm going to tell you how much of a pain in the ass that was. That should be the first red flag when you try to research something and you can find very little, because that's what I've found in the last 3-4 days that I've been doing research on DLive. Very little on any search engine. But I finally came across some things, and it's time to put DLive out there for what DLive is. Is it a free speech platform, as so many blindly claim? And that's what so many people are doing, blindly claiming something that they didn't research on, when some of you guys should know better. I mean, let me read my description, because it's a little bit better stated, because this really kind of irritates me when we've got channels on here on YouTube that claim to be researchers that investigate stuff. They failed to investigate this, or they failed to read the community guidelines, or a TOS that does not even exist on DLive. That should have been another red flag. Why is it the one person that speaks out vehemently, because I've learned to go off, been taught to always go off what I feel when something don't feel right. Don't follow the leader, so to speak. Listen to yourself. Maybe you guys should stop following leaders, especially people that, well, PewDiePie's going over there. He's the top streamer. Well, we're going to get to that. We're also going to get to the fact that actions speak louder than words. I've spoke critically about Gab in the past, and I'm not going to hold back against DLive either. Actions speak louder than words. That's all I never need to know. If you do something once, you'll do it again. All that glitters isn't gold. Have we reached a point where we jump to the next best thing because everyone says so, without even doing our due diligence of researching something first? Have we gotten that desperate to leave YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and the like without even reading all the TOSs, of getting all the facts? Many are claiming DLive is the answer. Action speaks louder than words, and in DLive's case, not looking so good. In fact, they are no better than the ones we all criticize, as I will show you in this live stream. And yes, I am going to show you, and I'm going to put the links in the chat so you can do your own research that I had to do for you. Some of you, I know why you're over there, because it's all about the crypto. It's all about the money, because you're the very same ones that monetize your channel and are always getting your videos demonetized. And if you read their community guidelines, some of you guys aren't going to last very long over on DLive, because you're talking about politics. And some of you don't even know some of the investors that raised money for DLive. I mean, that's all we can look at, is what was raised for the Leno blockchain part of it. We can never look when it comes to the actual cryptocurrency, where the money's at, who owns it, what, because nobody knows. That information ain't public record. But we do know there's a bunch of Chinese investors that's involved in this, and I will show that too. I want you guys to fully understand what platform you're dealing with. How we can't even say lack of transparency, because it's so in your face on the site. It tells me you guys didn't even look. You just listened. You just ran over there blindly. I spent time reading the community guidelines. I also spent time trying to figure out, why can't I access their TOS, which you still can't. Then, of course, I know there's going to be those naysayers, because the person I'm going to use as an example here, oh, it's that person. Well, that's the reason why we're in this boat with censorship on all these platforms, because that's been everybody's mentality. Oh, it's this person. Who cares? Well, I tell you what, if you guys haven't learned the lesson yet, they use that person for a reason, so they can come after you. And guess what? They keep coming after you, don't they? They keep infringing on our free speech. So let's quit with the excuses. There's nobody to blame but ourselves. Every time we run from a place, instead of taking a stand, we're just creating more problems. We're letting them get away with the same thing we keep complaining about. That's why I said I'm not running. I'm staying right here on YouTube. You know what? At least YouTube's right in your face about it. They don't hide their stuff that goes on. But yet, they did pretty good. DLive's done a pretty good job hiding the information about the person they banned, which I find it hard considering how known the person is. You know, yeah, it took me a little bit to do the research on this because there's nothing there. You type DLive in a search engine, and I've used all 3 search engines, and it actually took me using Chrome to find it. Couldn't find it on DuckDuckGo. It took me using Chrome to actually find it. It's like, what the hell? You know, this is something I am going to be getting into in a few more videos. As I approach my 200th video, I'm going to be uploading some on the tools we have, because that's important. That's what helps us do the research, find these things, knowing how to use them, knowing how to use words, tags, meta tags. I guess apparently it's time to do an educational video. Hello, Bree, welcome. Sorry. Oh yeah, I know most people aren't going to even give a crap about this, but you know, it's not the video I had in mind to do. But you know what? Because what really got me interested, somebody, I'm not going to put the person's name out there, told me something about DLive being backed by the Chinese and in bed with certain Chinese crypto markets. So that's what I originally started looking in on, and couldn't find nothing. So today I went back, started looking, and started playing with my meta tags, my tags, and my search on DuckDuckGo. Nothing. The funny thing is, once I did it over on Chrome, I just really didn't have to do no tagging. It popped right up first, or within the first 2. Actually, I think it was the very first one. Clicked on it and found out, wait, they banned somebody, and this article just happened to have a bunch of information that allowed me to search other places. And funny thing is, once I found it on Chrome, DuckDuckGo, this is what I told you guys about search engines. They all rely on building their database. DuckDuckGo doesn't have a database like Google does. Yes, I can't trust Google that much, but hey, it just proves a point that we got to use all of our tools. Because 3 different browsers with 3 different search engines, and leave it to Google to actually give me what I was looking for that I couldn't find nowhere else. You know, just like YouTube. Like I said, I've never had a problem. No strikes. None of my videos have ever been taken down. No copyright infringements. And I've pushed the boundary more than most of you. I'm not scared to say the words that you guys are scared to say because the algorithm will pick it up. No. But then again, what do I do different? I don't monetize. I do what I do. I keep my audience, my channel subscribers down low. I don't go out looking for 1 million subscribers. I let it grow organically. So yeah, there is benefits to being a small channel. There's benefits to doing things the way I do it. Does it work for everybody? No. I know people that do the same way I do and they get nailed. It's just how you do things. Most of the time, I leave my tag section blank. That way it's not getting picked right up off the rip. Then there's sometimes, like today, past few weeks, actually every video I've done on censorship has been loaded with tags. You know, but I'm on multiple platforms. I'm on platforms like mine, Gab, Twitter, Facebook. Yeah, I'm still on Facebook. We got to stop running. But let's get to the point, right? DLive, is it a free speech platform, as so many blindly claim? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not. Interesting article here by Leo Jackson, or Jacobson. It's published on April 8, 2019. Crypto platform DLive bans Alex Jones. Oh, there comes the complaints. Oh, it's Alex Jones. Oh, that's but maybe courting PewDiePie, which we know PewDiePie is over there now. But we learned some facts about that little interaction as well. But this is an interesting article. Several days after blockchain-based streaming video platform DLive told Modern Consensus it had dropped a channel by the racist alt-right radio host Alex Jones from his platform, more than 400 of his videos were still accessible. Can't prove that one right now, guys, but I believe what they're saying to this point because certain things I've found. And we all know about Alex Jones's illustrious career. We don't need to get into that part. And you all know my opinion on him. But I will defend him when it comes to free speech. Can't stand the guy, don't like his show. He's the reason a lot of us are in more hot water than anything, because he used him as an example to come after every one of us. Why? Because we don't stick up for each other, even the ones, because we won't stick up even the ones we don't like. On April 5th, the same day Modern Says asked about it, a spokesman said that DLive, there's the channel link, had been dropped for violating the DLive community guidelines. Community guidelines which ban hate speech that directly attack a person or group on the bias of race, ethnicity, national origin, religion, disability, disease, age, sexuality, or sexual orientation, gender, or gender identity. Which is funny. Now, I've never really followed or listened to PewDiePie, but I've had other people do, and I've heard seen the videos where other people's talked about him, pointed stuff out. Boy, if that's not calling the pot the kettle black, and that's not being hypocritical of DLive, because they just banned Alex Jones for this, basically exactly what PewDiePie does. But we're gonna get in the meats and bones of that. We'll understand why that is. But as of April 8th, the channel was still accessible in response to a request for a comment by Modern Consensus. A spokesperson for DLive said that while the live stream function of the channel was banned immediately, the deletion of complete channel takes time and is underway. Meanwhile, DLive is reportedly trying to recruit the hugely popular but increasingly controversial YouTube celebrity PewDiePie, who lost a Disney-owned sponsor, Maker Studios, for his post-anti-Semitic videos in February 2017. One person familiar with DLive's plan told Modern Consensus that the company is pursuing PewDiePie, and the Swedish streamer gave the company a shout-out when a donation of 5,180 euros was made by DLive to a live stream charity fundraiser held in December for Cry, which works to end child labor in India. It raised more than 173,000 euros from 10,781 donors. It's a good, for me, I would support that little organization right there, because yes, we've got too much slave labor going around in these third world countries. Oh wait, I just said third world countries. That could get me banned on DLive. You guys do know that, right? No? I'll prove that here in a little bit too, for those that are too lazy to go read their community guidelines. Let me jump back here, make sure there's no comments. Get back to this article. Interesting article, and yeah, it took forever to find. The donation was made by DLive CEO Charles Wayne personally, and not by the company, said spokeswoman Kwame Liu. Attracting someone with the fame of PewDiePie would be an enormous coup for DLive. which is seeking out popular content creators with its global partner campaign, which we know they've changed some of the rules on that here of late. It would also be something of a moonshot by the company, which is trying to become the YouTube of blockchain. Its global partner campaign targets streamers with more than 1,000 followers, and its parent company, Lima, raised 20 million last year, whereas PewDiePie's earnings were 15.5 million last year, which made him the ninth highest earning YouTuber, which is amazing that, you know, any one of us could actually, well, used to be able to come on YouTube and do that. So we see why people want to monetize. I get the concept of it. I see why you want to go mine the crypto aspects of it. Easy money. For many of you, it's doing something that you love. But remember, when you do something that you love, there's consequences and strings and a whole bunch of things that you're going to have to deal with like demonetizing your channel when you speak of content that they don't want you to talk about because it's not advertiser friendly. Something I actually understand because I was a business owner in the web industry. Know what the lawyer said about it. It just depends on the client's tell that you're going to be advertising to. I've said this in the past with YouTube. We'll bring on the advertisers that like our content. That way, they're still making money. We're making money. Everybody's happy, and you don't have to deal with these other consumers. It can be all done in the coding and programming. We know that. Any coder out there, web engineer, understands this little principle about writing the code to target certain ads to certain channels. It's actually very easy to do. Somebody that, like me, who taught themselves on YouTube, watching professors teach classes on how to code. Funny, the things you can learn on YouTube. While these other platforms are playing catch up, we have the biggest tool available to us when it comes to learning things. That's something I've always given props to YouTube about. Is YouTube perfect? Nope. In fact, YouTube has many issues that I have addressed and won't stop addressing. The censorship being the #1 priority. Honor our free speech is all we ask. But some people, they want to push that limit and say, well, I have the right to monetize. Well, you do, but if they don't have advertisers that are going to want to advertise on your content, then they have a right to de-advertise you, demonetize you. Just the rule of business. DLive's response when asked to PewDiePie wasn't exactly a denial. DLive is growing fast, and we welcome creators from all parts to join DLive. I mean, PewDiePie did have an incentive. In my opinion, when somebody donates 1,500 euros and basically offers you to come over their platform, why not? See what it's like. And we know how many issues that PewDiePie's actually had. I wonder if PewDiePie even knows that while this was going on, while he was getting ready to come over there, that they banned Alex Jones. Probably not. But then again, maybe he did and he didn't care. Sometimes people get too caught up in the money. It's all about the money, not about the content and stuff they actually talk. Sometimes, actions speak louder than words. Welcomes creators from all platforms to join DLive, said Gentry Henry, a PR spokesman via email. We're very creator friendly. We have zero platform cuts of revenue earned by streamers. Creators' communities are also rewarded for the time they spend on the platform. Aside from that, we don't have any news to share regarding PewDiePie, which we do see that on certain blockchain platforms. Much like the mines, you're rewarded for your interaction. You're rewarded for posting, for liking, sharing, commenting, just being on the site. It's called check-in. Every hour you get a check-in reward. So it makes you want to be there. And it's addictive too, especially those that are trying to mine the crypto aspect of it. but it does get other people to engage, and there's a lot more engagement going on over in the mines. So I see a lot more blockchain people going that route. You know, to each their own. I'm not in on the crypto thing, so it doesn't affect me one way or the other. What it does affect me, I still get my little tokens, which allows me to boost my content to reach more people. Simple. Whether a company like DLive can actually attract PewDiePie level streaming personalities, it does highlight the balancing act new entrants in the streaming video market face when deciding who to allow on their platforms. While PewDiePie, whose real name we're not going to mention, has a huge following, you guys can read his real name for yourself in the thing. Huge following at 93.6 million. He also has a reputation for offensive comments, including anti-Semitism and racism, which violates DLive's community guidelines. Like I said, hypocritical on DLive's part for banning Alex Jones for the very same thing they're trying to bring him on for. But, you know, back to the sheeple's mentality, it's Alex Jones, who cares? Right? Is that what you guys always say? Until until that barrel's pointing at you and you're the one under censorship, having your stuff taken down. But you wouldn't stand up for the man that we all don't like. Not, most of us don't like Alex Jones, period. He's a fraud. But they use that fraud, that CIA plan, to come after each one of our freedoms of speech. He's the poster boy. And we all know about what was said during the Christchurch thing. So let's get down to some more. To deal with offensive and inappropriate material, DLive is recruiting DLive Guardians, who would be responsible for moderating channel, including terminating streams that breach its community guidelines, which ban hate speech that directly attacks a person or group on the bias of race, ethnicity, national origin, religion, disability, disease, age, sexual orientation, gender, or gender identity. Where's the free speech there if you can't talk about that? And we all know what our Supreme Court in the United States says about hate speech. It is free speech and it is protected. Once more, DLive is doing the same thing that every other platform's doing. Let me repeat this. DLive is doing the same thing that every platform we bitch about is doing. But yet you guys want to run over there blindly saying it don't happen? Oh, wait. None of you did research. That's how you know it don't happen. Like other blockchain-based video streaming channels, DLive has seen controversial creators come on board after being banned from other mainstream channels like YouTube, which isn't always easy to police without a huge staff. And even with its resources, Facebook struggled with the New Zealand shooters video, which they did. We all know that one. Leaving it up too long and doing too little to remove it, despite having taken down or blocked uploads of the video 1.5 million times within 24 hours. Yeah. What is DLive? DLive is an app built on the Lino testnet blockchain. Lino raised 20 million from investors, including China's Zen Fund. And as I found out watching another video where they were talking about trying to debate whether if Lino is a Ponzi scam or pyramid scam, which is irrelevant. They had the creator of the Lino on a podcast, and they were talking about it and comparing it to, what is it, BIT? Let me see here. I've got it somewhere. Yeah, to bits. Linos are not bits. You just type that in, it'll take you to the video. And exactly, Linos is crypto. Bits is backed by Amazon, backed by US dollar, backed by the FTC or FDA. Whatever. Federal Reserve. It's backed by the Federal Reserve. It's backed by real money that I can touch. not some fake made up intellectual property. It's not even property because it's invisible. That's what crypto is. But yet you get people spending millions, 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 dumping. Here's 500, here's 300. Well, let's find out how much to buy into. We're not going to talk about how much to buy into Bitcoin because that's almost pushing, yeah, almost 12 and a half. Been going up and down all day. Ethereum's at 13.14, which is on the rise because it was at $304 earlier. So, but why invest in something that has no physical property? And I'm definitely not going to invest in anything that I know is backed by China. And they get into further discussion about, actually, I'll pull up a page and read here in a second on that one after I show some other things. But yet, that's where people want to go. And I do agree, YouTube takes too much from super chats and from earnings because they're making millions off us for people just coming to watch our stuff. Every time somebody comes in, they get paid for it. They get paid for the traffic. Then they're getting paid by advertisers, so they could give back a little bit more. But, you know, I'm not going to get into this crypto crap. That's not what I'm here for. It's not what I'm about. I'm completely against the crypto side of things. Do I like the blockchain websites thus far? I think they got a long ways to go to prove themselves, but I am enjoying the mines. So mines has proven to me that there is potential for a blockchain site. Gab just went there. They got to prove themselves. Like I said, actions speak louder words. They've censored people in the past, got caught, almost lost their website last year until the person took down the content, or they're going to lose their platform because their hosting provider is going to take it from them, which in turn made them do what they did, go to a decentralized platform using blockchain. Where to go? I don't know. Actions speak louder than words. They got to prove themselves. Okay, you guys are probably, everybody's saying, where's your proof? Go to DLive. For all of you got a DLive account, type in Alex Jones channel, just as you see here in the little search box right here, and it'll bring you to right here where you can click follow, but don't bother clicking follow because you're not going to be able to go nowhere. Why? As soon as I click on the icon, Alex Jones channel has been suspended. Do I need to increase the picture size here so you can all read that clearly? Alex Jones channel has been suspended. This is DLive we're talking about. So I don't want to hear this crap anymore that DLive is not like every other site. They just proved they are. In fact, for those who are talking politics, aren't marking your stuff X, that could get you suspended or banned from DLive. Controversial political news. And many of you, what you talk about is considered controversial political news. I fall under that category. Almost every single one that I follow that talk about it fall under that category. And I know I got Bree in the chat. Bree was there when I did a stream on DLive, and no sooner did the stream end, instead of my video going to replay, it completely disappeared on DLive. That fast before I could blink an eye. Because I was going to go back, do like I used to do with all my videos, even here on YouTube, I go back and download them. But it is nice to know I'm going to be able to go in my browser and get rid of a few add-ons, extension add-ons, because I will not be using DLive ever. I don't support anything that China has their hands in. You know, it was funny that it was brought up to me, and that was the only way I could find these articles, because that's specifically what I was looking for. Okay, who's backing DLive? Where's the money? follow the money, which we know we can't follow the crypto, but we can follow previous investors who's helped fund this little venture. We can find that because that's cash. And found a couple China-based businesses, markets, crypto markets. So we know how China enforces censorship. Free speech you do not have. So how long do you think they're going to let you make money before they start controlling what you can say? Because we've seen this little song and dance before. Seen it on every platform that we think is, oh, this is going to be the next best thing. They do whatever to draw you in. We'll use YouTube for the classic example. Here, you can monetize your channels. And that next thing you know, YouTube starts skyrocketing. People start coming. Then they wait till that point where they get their numbers are already made their millions, and they start slapping you on the hand for thinking that you're actually going to make money without consequences. Well, Bree, you remember that day I did that one video? I think it was a first Rambling Chaotic Minds I tried to do, or was actually the first time that it kind of streamed but didn't. Then I started pointing out all the issues that was having. How quick did that video stay up? It was before I could even click on it, it disappeared. But you got to have proof in this day and age. You got to have people that's going to sit there. Well, I just showed you proof. I don't need none. Now, they did it for me. And like I said, beginning, the first red flag is when I went to search for anything on DLive, nothing. It took me forever. And it took me actually not even researching something else on the money side of things to find the very article I just read from, which, by the way, I need to put that link in the channel. You guys can read it for yourself. That's the other thing I give props about to YouTube. To me, one of their other best improvements here was allowing the chat to always be up, which allows me to put these links in here for anybody that comes to watch it. They can follow along and check, because there's always some good things coming, good conversations going on the side in the chat. But it allows me just to put my links there. While you guys listen to me to talk, you can do some reading yourself. That's the part that kills me. Research. So many of these channels out there, big channels that went over to DLive, that's all. Yeah. Oh, you got to be question everything. Why didn't you question DLive? Why didn't you do your research? Your first red flag should have been when you couldn't find nothing on DLive, on any search engine, except for maybe one or two posts. Like I said, it took me playing with tags, meta tags, and it finally took me coming back to Google and just typing DLive in. And found what I was looking for. But then again, kind of got DLive trained, or not DLive, YouTube, Google trained when it comes to my search. Nice thing about AI is they can be trained, and algorithms. The nice thing about being just chaotic and all together, where there's no rhyme or reason for anything I type in a search bar. The fact is, guys, is DLive the answer? Hell no. They're just as guilty as every last one of them. But I know some people are going to sit there and say, oh, no, they don't do that. Oh, it's just Alex Jones. And you're the reason why we're still having a hard time getting people together, because of people like you. You talk a good game, but in the end, you ain't shit. You're no better than the very people that are censoring. In fact, you're worse. If you can't come to your person that you can't stand likes aid when they're very freedoms, and liberties are being taken away, you're far worse than YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Because that means everything you said has no meaning. In fact, don't even claim to be patriotic, because it's the last thing you are. Because if you were a true patriot, you'd come to even your enemy's defense when their freedoms and liberties are being taken away. It's sad that I'm the one that had to come find this stuff, because I don't follow the leader. Because I've been taught and learned to listen to myself. Something don't feel right. Why? What's bothering me about this platform? So I will question it. I will go look. You know, I hear people say question everything, but they don't question. So many people, oh, PewDiePie's going over there. We're going to follow. If he's going over there, let me refer you to that. Suspended. Let me refer you to this article, which are links in the description. Read it for yourself. Read their community guidelines. Controversial political news, game nudity, not safe for work content. You better put an X mark by anything political news, or you will potentially be suspended and censored. They can mute accounts from chat rooms, removing privileges. Suspend, disable accounts on DLive. But when was this updated? March 30th, 2019. But by their own policies, by their own rhetoric, PewDiePie shouldn't even be on their platform. I mean, the very same thing they banned Alex Jones for is the very same thing that they brought. Well, it's not the very same thing. They brought PewDiePie over because he has the numbers. He's still the news, the main thing. We take him from YouTube and everyone will follow. Screw Alex Jones. In violation of DLive's terms of service. Okay, let's go to terms of service real quick. I didn't dying to show this one. This bothered me the very first day I came over. It's the first place I clicked on. It's your guys' due diligence to read these things on any platform. You should be reading their TOSs, their community guidelines. If you would have done that, you would have seen DLive is no different than YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Gab. But I find this quite hilarious. Terms of service. Have questions about our TOS? Give this a second to load. I'm already going to tell you what's going to happen. It's not going to load. Failed to fetch error URL to the PDF. Been like that since almost a month ago. When I first tried to read it, still haven't fixed it. Still can't read their TOS. Basically, if you click on this, it takes you to a WordPress site just explaining how to do URLs. Something simple fix. So basically, we don't know what their TOS is because it's not there. But we know what their community guidelines are. Oh, by the way, for all you guys who want to play music in your streams that you don't own, probably should read the copyright policy. You'll find it very familiar. It's almost identical to YouTube's. I mean, other than putting their company name in there, which is left blank. I can show you where this exact form is, where you can download for free to create your own. And you just fill in the little fucking sections that they leave blank to put your name, your brand name in. But yeah, it's pretty much identical, basically. If you're using somebody else's music that you don't own, you better be sending them the permission that you actually have permission to use it, or you will be banned. Like I said, how many of you actually read the copyright policies, the community guidelines, the privacy policy, the brand guidelines. That got me too. Community guidelines, guys. If you'd have read this, you wouldn't have had no far. In fact, if you clicked on TOS, terms of service, and you've seen that it's not there. How blind have you guys become? I mean, seriously, we're just going to follow anybody and everybody everywhere they go without researching, without questioning? No, they don't suspend anybody. Never. And I just read to you why they suspended him right up here. And like I said, quite hypocritical on their part when they bring PewDiePie over for the very same thing that they banned Alex Jones for. Has been dropped for violating the DLive community. Let me just highlight this. Fortunately, it's going to show up gray on this website. Had been dropped for violating the DLive community guidelines. Community guidelines which ban hate speech that directly attacks a person or a group on the bias of race, ethnicity, national origin, religion, disability, disease, age, sexual orientation, gender, or gender identity. And as I went to furthermore read in this little section, if you don't mark what they consider controversial politics, when you're talking about politics of any sort that they would deem controversial, and we know how China plays their game, or how, remind you guys, reading this article, I find it to be very on the left side, but wow, found it very entertaining at the least, because at least somebody had the balls to post something, pointing it out there, doing the research that you guys should have done. I mean, they never even answered the direct question. Well, I mean, everybody I've heard talk about PewDiePie say the same thing. He's very controversial. He's actually worse than Alex Jones at some point. The only difference between him and Alex Jones is our government made an example out of him, and nobody got his back. Oh, that won't happen to us. That's Alex Jones. He deserves it. Nobody deserves to have their rights and freedoms and liberties taken away from them. Because guess what? Once they get him, you're next. And guess what? We've seen it. Boy, have we seen it big time since last year when they were talking about this, when they were demanding that Facebook remove, or not Facebook, Twitter remove him from the trending feed, that they block him. Next thing you know, after that meeting, we've seen Alex Jones getting blocked, suspended off YouTube. But nobody blatted eye. It's Alex Jones. That's what we say. Oh, it's just Alex Jones. He deserved it. Nobody deserves to have their rights and freedoms taken away. Yes, is he a provocateur? Damn right. He is there. Me personally, they let him get as big as he did, and they used that fact. In fact, I think that was the design all along. We're going to let you do what you want. You're going to do this. Then we're going to come after you. You're going to make your money. And we're going to use you as an example to get censorship on the internet. That's what I personally think. That's my personal opinion about Alex Jones. He's nothing more than a plant that was designed to. But yet, there's so many that still hang on every word he says. But yet, we can't stand idly by and let them use him as the poster boy child for this. But kind of glad he is a poster boy child for something. Because, wow, can't argue facts. Can't argue something that's right in front of your face. Is DLive the answer? Hell no. They're just as guilty. So, from here on out, those that want to go to DLive, have fun. Don't let me even hear of you talking about free speech. That this is the spot that protects your free speech, because I'll call you a liar. And I got the facts to prove it. Now, everybody's got access to the facts to prove it. You know what? As much as YouTube may be broken, I'm not running. This is where I'm taking my stand. Yeah, they're going to make it harder for me to do some of the stuff I like, but no, they're not. I found ways around it. I can go over to the mines and use the gathering app, stream right here to YouTube for a minute, and still have something that I think is a little bit better than Hangouts, to be honest with you. Because on August 1st, which I think is YouTube's biggest mistake, is getting rid of the Hangouts. But can't tell them what they're going to do with their platform. They don't care. Because if they did, they'd listen to some of us. And yes, I do know about that little spam bot that's going around. And this place can be saved if we all take a stand. If we come together and put our differences aside, that's the point of taking a stand. Enough's enough. We've got suggestions that can help them still do what they want and leave us be. I know people out there that have businesses that would love to advertise. Yeah, you might not be able to tax these mom and pop businesses that want to advertise like you do the big corporation advertisers, but it's still allowing you to ease back. I mean, when you start getting people together, ideas come from it. Things that can make a place better. And there'll be ideas that can make the place worse. I agree there. But it's about being open-minded, listening to everybody. It's also about realizing, hey, we're letting these advertisers push us in the wrong direction. It's also, YouTube's got to take its own stand against certain things. But they're never going to do it if we keep running off their platform, because they know, you know why? Oh, we'll just get the next younger generation that's coming up that's already addicted to this platform. The ones that want to post videos of doing stuff and stupid that's illegal and criminal, all for their 15 minutes of fame in order to get all those clicks and likes that we're seeing going around. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, the little ice cream thing that's went from that to drinking pop, putting it back on the shelf, mouthwash, and all kinds of stuff. In fact, they just nailed somebody who actually did it and bought the ice cream because it kept the video rolling, but they only posted the part where he opened it up in the store and licked it. Guess what? He got arrested. He's getting charged for a crime too. So, with every good thing, there's bad things. Problem is, when we start running and scattering ourselves everywhere, the only people we're hurting are our very subscribers, our very followers, or whatever you want to call them. Because not all we're going to go. As many of us found out the issues on DLive. There's a bunch of people can't watch their streams. I've been questioning that because why? Why is it just seems like it seems random, but it doesn't. It seems like it's just certain individuals because we're all in different parts of the world, different parts of the states. And I don't get it. Especially I don't get it when it happens from my phone. Consider my phone has got better service than my computer when it comes to internet. I mean, I could sit here and stream off my phone in the middle of King Buck 2 and get a stream out in perfect quality. Can't do that so much from my computer. But why are we just... Have we just gotten that fed up? Have we been bullied that much that we've lost our backbones? Lost the ability to take a stand, know what's right from wrong? To the point where we'll just blindly follow everybody right off the cliff to for another platform that's doing the same damn thing? I don't get it. I really don't get it from those that say question everything. Maybe you need to question your own logical thinking. Because if you're following blindly a person, you didn't do your due diligence research, and if you would have done the research, first red flag you would have seen when it was almost hard, when it was like nothing shows up for DLive or Lino. It took me typing in DLive blockchain, Lino blockchain, and there's only like a few handful of articles about it. There should be your first red flag, because I know DLive was around last year. In fact, it was last year when they migrated over to the Lino blockchain and they got away from steaming. I mean, like I said, I did multiple searches. Like I said, my next search was this. DLive, Lino's. Yeah, I need to minimize this. I can do it from here. Okay, it just minimized itself. Like I said, kind of got to follow the money. But this is, now, lo and behold, this, when I, like I said, I found this, but right there's a very article that I just sent you to, modernconscious.com, technology, DLive, Alex Jones, links in the description, but I found this originally on Chrome through Google because it wouldn't show up on DuckDuckGo. Why? Because, like I said, DuckDuckGo doesn't have as big a search engine database as Google. No one does. They're still building their database. But once I did a search, hey, guess what? Everything's synced, works together. Oh, now it's going to be popped up in DuckDuckGo, and it was the very first one there. This was another interesting video. Like I said, all you got to do is type in PewDiePie and co-founders defending DLive. Is Lino a scam? It was an interesting article, video. Suggest you go watch it. Some interesting points were made up, especially where the one guy just keeps referring to Lino as bits. Linos are not bits. And they're exactly right, because Lino is a cryptocurrency and bits is backed by the US dollar. It's backed by Amazon and the Federal Reserve. Cannot compare the two. That's like comparing apples to oranges. But like I said, the search results, it's like hard to find anything. But here's Zen Fund, money with values. Zen Fund is a Beijing-based seed fund founded by New Oriental co-founders, which is one of the big investors in donating money to Lino to get DLive off the ground. Here's another article they did with the guy from Lino. I'll leave these links. You guys can read these for yourself if you want. Just like I said, as far as the crypto aspect doesn't concern me, but this is what I had to go around about just to find anything on here. Lino provided the framework for DLive, the largest live streaming D app in the world. As the first app on Lino, DLive features Lino point-based reward systems that encourage user creators engagement to create the best live stream content and communities. The platform hit a huge milestone recently with more than 5 million monthly active users on the platform in April. And this was the same time they brought PewDiePie and the same time they kicked Alex Jones off. So like I said, sometimes our research takes us places we don't even realize. But I'll put these links in there, and for anybody who wants to read up on the Zen Fund, here's another little interesting article where it allows you to research the company a little bit more. This place is huge, actually. And this is just an investment firm, basically. But they were one of the big backers. And as you can see, they do back over 600 plus portfolios. 1 billion. The total size of the fund is around $1 billion that they basically invest in startups. But we know how that works. We know how when people invest in something, how much they kind of put and force their controls over. Like I said, if you guys would just take time to research things instead of following people blindly. I mean, do we need to do a video how to research and question things? Shouldn't have to. You know, for me, I know what works and what don't work. Truth is, YouTube works. Am I happy with them? No. But they do have good things. And I'm just not on YouTube to stream. I'm on here when I need to research something myself, to learn how to do something, or I get stuck on something. See if there might be an easier way to go about it. When it comes to for educational purposes and do it yourself and all kinds of stuff, like I said, I taught myself coding to where I could build my own platform. Into building my own server. I didn't have to go to college for it. I could listen to college professors teach their classes right here on YouTube. Some of the benefits that YouTube has, and I'm always like pointing that stuff out so YouTube realizes what they have. Here, because I'll tell you what, BitChute is quickly catching up to YouTube. They're starting to get more content, but it's still in its infancy. You still can't live stream over there. It still takes 2 to 3 hours to upload a 15 minute to a half hour video. And half the time, you know, if you set it up right, your live streams from here and the videos you upload here will go right straight to BitChute. Well, it works half the time. Last week or 2 weeks ago, it worked just fine. Last week, no. All the videos I did on the 4th didn't get uploaded. And I'm not going to sit there and manually upload them and have to wait a whole day to upload a 2-hour video. Not going to happen. So there is no platform that's perfect. But I tell you what, at least YouTube's in your face about it. We all know what's going to happen here. We know what they do. But some people just don't get it. If we keep running, you might as well just tell them, here, go ahead. You can have my freedom of speech. You can have all my rights. Because that's what you're doing by running. That's what you're doing by not questioning these so-called platforms. I spoke out highly, spoke against the mines highly. And I had reason to. But I've seen the changes over the past year to where I came back. Hey, I was wrong. I wasn't really wrong, but I was wrong and not giving them the chance. They actually came back and proved me that, like I said, actions speak louder than words. The actions that Minds has taken has put them ahead of everybody else when it comes to protecting our freedoms of speech and freedoms of expression. Do they got problems and issues? Yes, their jury system's being abused, but it works to a certain point. As long as you're not getting that 75%, that 75% of the jury, all the stupid spammers that are going around there harassing and marking content. Because guess what? It doesn't matter. You can't get them deleted. The content doesn't get deleted. The worst you're going to get to happen there is your content gets marked not safe for work. And you get a third strike, your whole channel gets marked not safe for work. Ooh, whoop-dee, 90 days it goes away. You know, but at least on the Minds, I can interact with their admins and people and give them suggestions. They listen, unlike YouTube. And they're continually making their platform better. Gab's just starting their road to maybe redemption, or maybe it'd be just continuing down the same line they did. Like I said, action speaks louder than words, and thus far, Gab's got a big E in my book. Actually, got a big fat F in my book because happened once, almost happened a second time, and it would have happened a second time if that person didn't take their content down willingly. Because even as a site owner, platform owner, you know, Gab didn't own their own, technically didn't own their own platform. They were going through a hosting provider, and the hosting provider gave them 24 hours to remove the content or lose their platform. You know, but if Gab would have took a stand, oh my God, that would have made up for their first screw up, because we all make mistakes, but they didn't. And Actions speak louder than words, guys. Some of you guys need to learn to read. And like I said, the other red flag should have been this right here. TOS. What TOS? And it works just fine. This one, the links work just fine for the brand, the copyright, as I shown you in the copyright. It loads just fine, but except for the TOS. How have we gotten so far away from not doing our own research, not questioning things? I mean, I have to ask. You know, I get it. Some of you, you're about one thing and one thing only, the money. That's all you care about. I can respect that. You're honest with it. You want to get paid for the work you do? You should. But don't be hypocritical about it. At least be honest about it. Don't go crying every time you get nailed for censorship because you're not advertiser friendly. See, at least I can complain about it because I don't monetize. I didn't buy into that system and let that system try to control me. I don't care. I live within my needs and means. Even when I'm working and got the money, it's not a need. I don't need to pay Zoom for a webinar so I can live stream and have multiple people, and I have Hangouts for that. I had Hangouts on air for that, except for that's going away. Well, guess what? I got the Gathering app right here on the Minds, which, in my personal opinion, works a little bit better than Hangouts in some aspects. Does it need work? Yes. It's still in the process of being made, but there's a lot more things I can do. Like I said, I learned a few tricks with it. I can bring anybody onto the Gathering as long as I go into the Gathering. Once I launch my Gathering, then I go into the Gathering app on or the Minds app on my phone, go to my group, click on the Gathering, enter my Gathering. Then it allows me to grab a link, share somewhere. Then I can copy that link and have anybody join me in the Gathering, and they don't have to be a member of the site. Got to do a little bit more work, but I also have learned when it comes to dealing with the Minds, give them time. Now here's my other comment to certain individuals out there that claim to be sponsoring the Minds. Oh, I'm backing this, and you gave me so much shit last year when I was not defending the Minds, when I was pointing out all these things. Don't ever do that to me when you're over on DLive streaming and not using the Gathering app. When you stop streaming from YouTube, and you know who I'm talking about, I don't need to drop your name. Don't ever give me shit, because I can turn around and do the same damn thing. Because at least I'm using the Gathering app. But oh, I want to get away from YouTube. They're censorship Nazis. So I'm going to go over here to DLive and only stream over here and say screw all the people, 600 and some people that I've got subscribing to me. Wow. And that's the way some people's mentality was. You guys were so pressed to get away from here that you didn't question anything. You were so blindly led astray, which makes me even question, are you even worth having trying to stand up for censorship if you're so easily led astray? Like I said, some of you guys talk a good game, but first sign of trouble, you're running for the hills. You're running to what seems to be the next thing, and forget the old saying, all that glitters is not gold. And if it looks too good to be true, it probably is, because nothing in life is free. sharing of information isn't free because somebody's doing the research. Somebody's putting that time in to share that for you. I'm spending energy, time I could be doing something else. Or actually doing the podcast that was originally scheduled for tonight. You know, I've come to this conclusion a long time ago. I tried to not do it, but sometimes, yes, some of you guys are right. Sometimes you do have to be right up in your face and just say it for what it is. For all the bad that we deal with here on YouTube, it's still plenty of good, and a lot of that, and a lot of that good outweighs the bad. This is still the flagship of the idea of live streaming. Nobody can touch it. Haven't touched it yet. Not even DLive. But DLive's learned the tricks from YouTube. Just like every other platform. They all know the tricks. Here, we're going to bait you and lure you in. We're going to give you something. We're going to get you hooked. Then we're going to start taking it away. Except for the fact that they jumped the gun too soon. And they jumped the gun in such a way that they were so interested in getting PewDiePie over, they didn't realize they were kicking Alex Jones off at the same time. And like I said, let's talk about the pot calling the kettle black and hypocritical. The very same thing that we all accuse PewDiePie of is the very same thing you accused Alex Jones of and you brought PewDiePie over. And you kind of admit that he's controversial. I mean, what the hell? And then it does show me that nobody did the research. Why, out of all the people out there, all the people that I follow, why was I the one to find this information? Well, I know why. Because I'm not a follower. Now, I actually do hate the term follow. Oh, you need to follow me over here. Make up your own damn mind if you want to be over here or not. More than likely, you probably don't. Some of the platforms I'm on. You know, some people claim to be open-minded, awake. Not even close. And you prove it just by this right here. Because if you're truly awake, you would have seen the warning signs. You would have questioned it first. You would have listened to yourself. Wait, something's not right here. Why can't I find anything really about DLive on a search? Wait. The next thing you would have done as soon as you joined, you would check the community guidelines, the TOS, the terms of service, which is what TOS stands for, the privacy, the copyright. You would have read all of that. Then what you would have noticed? The same thing that I noticed. Well, this is just the same as being over on YouTube. Same policies. This is the same thing I can go copy on a website. Shit, you're not. There's a website. You can go download it. Copy it. All you do is insert your name, your business's name, and put in the information. And it amazes me. Nobody does it. And I know there's going to be a bunch of, oh, this is Alex Jones. Who cares? You should. Because that's you next. If you would read their community guidelines, you definitely know some of you, you're definitely on the chopping block. Once they use you for what they need, you'll be the first ones they get rid of. Because you're a tool to them. You're the way to draw more people in. And boy, is it working. And you guys should be ashamed of yourself for falling into that category. You know, I hate the censorship as much as the next person. at least I've been out doing stuff about it. I've been going after the congressman. I've been on here for almost a month now, complaining about it, pointing things out. But nobody wants to stick together. Everybody wants to run. Oh, I don't like that person. I can't put my differences aside. Well, if you can't put your differences aside, I don't want you beside me anyway. Because you're just going to bring anything we're trying to do down. But don't worry, we'll come to your aid when they come after you. We'll stick up for you. And maybe then you'll understand why you have to take a stand. Even the most unpopular stance of them all, staying on a platform that you don't like. They can't stand to be on because of the censorship. It's so easy to run. It's more easier than run to take a stand. That's true. Anybody can run. When do you get tired of running? When do you realize by running you're just making the problem worse? When do you guys realize when you don't do your proper research and question everything that you're also part of the problem? Because then you turn around, oh, this is the free speech platform. Do I need to go to Twitter and show you guys' tweets? Seriously. And the ones I'd be showing be the ones that should have known better. Should have done the research. Should have questioned it. But hey, who am I? Nobody. Apparently I was just somebody that actually did some research. Was the first person that was questioning it right from the get rip. Apparently I wasn't the first person questioning it from the get rip because I found some videos where they were questioning it. Apparently some journalist decided to question it and point it out. Which brings up the other red flag is how long it took me to find that. Because it's being hidden inside the search engines. Yeah, kind of the drawback to blockchain and decentralized platforms. Makes it harder to find things about it. And we know how Google is quite Google, YouTube, Facebook, and all. Well, Facebook's getting ready to go blockchain, so we can pretty much throw Facebook out of the equation now. They're going to hurt themselves with that little move. But they all know the next stage of the internet is the blockchain. Even I know that. Even I know that eventually, yes, we're going to go to cryptocurrency. But it ain't going to be you create your own coin. That's a utopist dream. And we all know what the utopian dream is. Illusion, folly, and fantasy. Because it can never be. And eventually, I do agree with the Christians on one aspect. Eventually, we will have a one world currency. And that's the other push for crypto. But I also know the other part of the blockchain system that most of you don't got a clue about, don't even want to hear about, because somebody told you, you wouldn't believe it. Just like you don't understand the AI concept. See, and I have other channels for that. So I don't have to talk about it over here. And I don't have to talk about it on those channels because those that follow me on those channels already know about it. They know what it is. That's the other thing I think is funny. Those that will blatantly say it's the beast system, and they're kind of right on that. It is the beast system. It's very much so. For anybody that knows what I'm talking about, I know Free Spirit Press News knows what I'm talking about. And so do some of the other listeners that I know are listening. They know what I'm talking about. They have that knowledge. The only difference is we know it's coming and we're prepared for it. We've been prepared for it. You know, each of you's got to make decisions. Each of you got to decide, am I going to be that blind lamb being led to the slaughter? Or I'm going to have a mind of my own and start questioning everything. And please do. Question everything I say. You should. In fact, I highly recommend you do. Because I get things wrong too. We're humans. The one trait that we all share in common, no matter what our skin color is, no matter what our beliefs are, we all make mistakes. All right, Brie. You know, we all make mistakes. But, you know, it is our jobs to look out for each other. When somebody makes a mistake, point it out. Don't bash them. And some will say, well, that's exactly what you did. Well, yeah, I took a different tactic this time. You know, I got many tools in my disposal, and this is just one of them. One I don't use much. But the fact that so many people so blindly just followed everybody over without questioning. It's time for a reality check. Sometimes that reality check, there's no nice way to be about it. There's no such thing as a perfect platform. And somebody's going to say, oh, you're a hypocrite. You just said, I said they are the next thing to the premier of what a free speech platform looks like. And if you listen to, and you're going to quote my words, I also said they're still building, still making changes. There's still things that need fixed. I said that from the get-rip when it comes to the minds. But I also said I'm going to be much more patient now with them because they're making the right changes, going in the right directions, and they're listening to people. But in the end, like I said, actions speak louder than their words, and their actions have proven to me that they're making those changes. They're willing to listen to people. But I also know the reality of things. Doesn't matter where you go, because I've sat in those meetings, had it explained to me by 4 different lawyers, one being a constitutional lawyer. Doesn't matter where you put your server, they're not going to let you have what you want until things change. You can have that dream all you want, and you can go ahead and do it, but no, if you don't adhere, you will lose everything. Quite a reality check after. I'm not going to say how much money was spent. Too much. But I don't complain because I didn't really make shit off it. I actually made a lot more off it than physical money. I learned a lot. I gained a lot of wisdom and knowledge from that. That was more valuable to me than any amount of money I could have been paid to do what I did. Which I pretty much will work for peanuts, to be honest. Because I had to prove myself. I had to prove that I could do the coding. And I did. I proved it to lawyers and businessmen that were going to buy into it. Because I knew I had all the right answers for every question that was asked. Why? Because I spent the time and did what? Oh, that's right. Research, study, learn, question. Now, it's like I said, as much as we complain about YouTube, man, there's still so much here that you can gain and learn from. Maybe we need to stop being so greedy and demonetize our channels. You know, if we all demonetized our stuff, that's another form of boycotting. It sends a message to YouTube. Hey, okay, fine. If you're just going to demonetize anything I put up that you don't like, I'm not going to monetize no more. We have so much control over these things. We have just as much power as they do. If we all stand up and take action instead of running, instead of allowing people to bully us around. Do you let people bully you in real life? No, I know some of you don't. I know some of you, nah, it's probably the worst thing you probably ever try in real life. So why do you let it happen in a virtual reality world of illusions? You know, the gist of this, is DLive a free speech platform? No, it is not. Like I said, proof's in the pudding, actions speak louder than words. They just proved it. If you read their community guidelines, if you read the article, crypto platform DLive bans Alex Jones, sort of, but maybe courting PewDiePie, whatever his name is. If you read the article, the proof's also there. Which leads you to go ahead and do what I did. In fact, I'll just show you how I did it, since so many of you need proof. Wow, look at that. Alex Jones channel. Wow, he's here. Let me click on it. Oh, Alex Jones channel? The channel has been suspended. Wait, I thought this was a free speech platform that all of you are claiming. They don't do this. Let me go check their terms of service. Oh, wait, I can't access their terms of service. Link's not working. Not a red flag? Okay. Let me go read their community guidelines. I mean, how hard was this? How many seconds did I just waste? Okay. Community guidelines. It ain't that long of a read. Right there. It's not free speech if you're banning that. Or if I talk about gender identity, which I've heard some of you do already, prohibited behavior, impersonating someone. I do agree with this. Posting, linking information that is deceptive, fraudulent, threatening, libelous, and harassing. I agree with that. See, some of this stuff I do agree with. These are common sense stuff. Yeah, facilitating, encouraging, or offering. Yeah, I agree with that. It's not an adult platform, and actually violates the very law that Congress passed. I mean, they've removed stuff like this off of adult sites. You can't do it anymore. Breaking DLive or doing anything that interferes with normal use of DLive. Me talking about DLive is breaking DLive, and will probably be banned for it. Do I care? Hell no. Go ahead. Prove my point. Please do. Sometimes you have to have that mentality. Please do. Then I can add you to the list of everybody else, which I already did. You entered that list as soon as I found the articles and was able to prove it and show you using the infrastructure, resource, and reward system. Well, I can't comment on that part yet because I don't know if they came out of test. Where I can come over here, this is no longer on the test net. This is live. It's ETH, based off the Ethereum mainnet, no longer on the test net. I can actually, if I have 400 and what I figured, it's like 490 something, cash it in for half a Ethereum. Yeah, right. Which requires me to go through a bunch of things, create Coinbase account and other accounts. Yeah, and oh wait, you got to have just that much to transfer because it's like a gas tax. It's like fuel. You got to pay the fuel to make the transaction. So, oh, nope, I'd have to earn another 490 something to use. And make what? Yeah, nothing. But there's people out there that actually sit here and mine it. So, well, then, you get this. It's like, I mean, already proven they're hypocrites by banning Alex Jones and bringing somebody that violates their very policies for the very same reason that they banned Alex Jones for. Yep. What is it about? Oh, yep. It was all about the number of followers that PewDiePie had and how many people listened to watch him is going to follow him over here. They used him. And probably used the fact that, oh, you're going to make twice as much on the crypto side of things that you make on YouTube. You'll be rich. Now, somebody else can answer the question if they're out of testnet. Or if Lino's actually out of testnet, I don't know. Like I said, I don't follow the crypto side. Find somebody else. I mean, unless it's right in my face, I couldn't tell you. I mean, I could research it, but I have no desire to research anything on the crypto side of things. Because it's what? Yeah, that's right. Illusion. It's not backed by anything solid. It's not backed by gold. It's not backed by currency. Especially when they tell you, oh, you can create your own. Basically, you're creating intellectual property or content such as this and giving it a value that you create. That somebody else probably thinks it's garbage. Man, that dude puts out some garbage content. Every now and then he stumbles onto something. You know, we've done it. We've said it. And I'll be the first person. I don't put out great talking points, great discussions. Do I spend hours upon hours doing my graphics, setting this up the way I should? No, I don't need to. When I got all the tools, I can just do what I'm doing right now. I'd much rather do it this way. It's easier, faster. It allows me to focus on the topic, the conversation. It allows me to spend time researching instead of spending the hours creating the graphics and creating all the stuff that goes on in the back end. I show my work because you have to. You know, whatever happened, I mean, that's how I was taught in school. Got to show your work. Oh, that's right. They don't teach that in school no more. My bad. And you should show your work. And like I said, I'll put these links in the description. They're in the chat box, so you guys go research it for yourself, come up with your own opinions and views. Because in the end, that's all this is my opinions and views. I like to think a lot of it's backed by common sense, though. And if I offended you, good. It's my job. I made you think and question something. Because that's what triggered and being offended means. You had to think. You had to question something. See, I know how to use triggers. Not scared to use them either. I know how to call it out as I see it. And if I'm wrong, I'll come back and correct the record. I won't post it on Twitter. Oh, I've got updates. Check out on Twitter my updates. You're funny. Oh, I follow less than most of you do. And I still miss people's tweets. Why? Because I'm not going to spend 5 minutes scrolling to the very bottom of my tweets only to have another 100, 200 tweets setting up ready to scroll down. Nobody does it. So no, we're not going to see your update unless I specifically go to your page. And guess what? I'm not going to specifically all 200 pages I follow to see what they posted. Because more than likely that's gotten buried in their feeds from all their retweets and tweets. So I'll be just scrolling just as long on that. No, if I'm going to make a correction, an update, it'll be done in a live separate video. The way it should be done. You know, the other issue I kind of had with DLive, they get rid of your content after 7 days. You know what? My content's still here after over 2 years. I can go clear back to the very first video I did. I can go back to my other channel, which has some of the very first videos I originally started for this channel over there, because that's where I did them from as I was building this channel. Because before I launched this channel, I also had the WordPress site created, the Facebook page created, the Gab account, Twitter account, well before I launched the first stream over here. Like I said, I put time into building this, and I'm being just now seeing the rewards of that time well spent. I'm seeing my stuff grow. I'm seeing my content that I share. Some of your content that I share around the spot, getting more views, drawing more attention to other channels. That's what it's about. How many of you actually share my content? Tell you what, on the platforms that most of us are on, I can count on one hand 5. Shows you how much you guys like me. And to me, the people, Perspective, Free Spirit Press, Mr. Anderson, Rob the Man, thank you. Wish I could say the same for about a half dozen more. But, you know, it's not going to stop me from sharing your content. It's not why I do it. I do it because you're putting out good content. Putting out information that people need to hear. Apparently, you guys think the information I put out, people don't need to hear. So, I guess I got to respect that. But I'm going to call it out for what I see it as. And that's the problem. Some of these very same people I'm talking about are the very ones that ran to DLive without questioning it, without doing any research, saying how great it is, and acting like we were the devil for saying anything against DLive. Welcome to, well, apparently you just got deceived by that wolf in sheep's clothing. Because the ones that were pointing it out were the ones that were trying to keep you, making you think and question. I mean, we did know that they throttled people's streams. And by their own admission, they're only after people that's got over 1,000 viewers. They don't want anybody else. So once you reach that global partnership, I suggest you really read that article. That's what the global partnership's about, going after those people that have that big of a reach, to draw more people into their platform that they've already banned somebody from and censors people. So that's a part of the system you want to be in, but yet that's the very same thing you bitched about YouTube doing. Oh, and some of you still support YouTube by monetizing your stuff. If they're such evil bastards that you claim they are, that you have to be over this platform to get away from, why are you still monetizing your stuff on YouTube? Talk about being hypocritical. No, that's not even being hypocritical. That's about being greedy. That's nothing but pure greed. You know, sometimes you just got to be brutally honest when you don't even want to be. Just call it for the way you actually see it. And for that, people get offended. So what? If you're that easily offended, I don't want nothing to do with you anyway. If you can't take criticism, quit criticizing. And there's no way that I'm even defending YouTube. I'll point out their goods, but I'm not defending the fact that they still censor. and that it needs to stop. They need to honor our rights and respect them. Same way with Facebook, same way with Twitter. Twitter's going to be a little bit harder to pull that off on, but not so much for YouTube and Facebook. You know, our government could easily fix that problem. Hey, you're going to either obey our laws, obey people's freedom, rights of freedom of speech, or get your company, move it out of our country. And to start supporting the upcoming platforms that will honor our laws and respect our laws. But hey, our government's just as screwed up and corrupt. So getting them to do anything, especially during an election cycle, isn't going to happen. That means we have to do it. That means we have to be the ambassadors and stewards. We are the ones that have to take the stand, speak up, not run, but keep running. Some of you just won't learn until you learn it the hard way. And some of you, even when after that, you're still going to swear, oh, there's going to be some other place. There's never going to be a place. Because nobody wants to come together and take a stand. Now, but I'm sick and tired of seeing people run. Especially when they claim to be, oh, I'm righteous, I'm patriot, I'm against censorship. Really? You just went to a platform that censors. That's how you against censorship. Oh, you didn't know? Not knowing is called ignorance, and there's no excuse for ignorance. It's your due diligence to do research, to question things. That is your due diligence. Not knowing the law is not an excuse. It's your due diligence to know the law. And a judge will tell you that in the courtroom. In fact, it's well documented. Many judges have. It's your duty to research everything, question everything, document it, and bring the proof. Otherwise, you're just a set of lips that are talking. And a set of lips will say anything. Where's your proof? I showed you mine. Show me where I'm wrong. And don't make up stuff. Do the proper research. The first red flag is when you start typing in DLive, the fact that you don't find about maybe one article, if that should have been a red flag at the beginning. And if you didn't read the community service, the privacy, or the community guidelines of privacy, copyright, the branding part, the privacy part, I'd say the terms of service, but it's been a month, still not there. Apparently hasn't been there since March when they last updated it. That should have been another red flag. You know, and here's the thing. As much as I talk bad about Twitter, I'm having a blast on Twitter. I'm growing on Twitter. I'm not even trying to grow. I'm not trying to grow on any site I'm on. It's not how I do things. Which is rewarding in itself when you watch yourself grow. Because people are finding you. And that's the people you want. The ones that are actually finding and appreciating what you're posting, sharing. And you know what it is? They're appreciating many of you that will listen to this. Many of the people that post videos here on YouTube that ran to DLive, they're appreciating your videos because I'm sharing your stuff too. You're reaching more people than you ever realize. Don't go by the statistics over here. We all know that. At least we claim to all know that. I mean, I guess people don't think I don't share your content. We'll go to my group because it's the safest spot to go. Even though I've got my settings turned, the mature filter unchecked box, so shouldn't show any of it. But sometimes somebody wants to test the theory that, oh, I don't have to mark this not safe for work, even though you're showing nudity. All Timcast stuff I've shared. You know who that is? I mean, stuff from everywhere. All different people's stuff. Blog stuff that I follow. Great content by people that should know better. Now, this is just in my group. This ain't on my page. Of course, I don't share anything that's marked E anyway, so my page is actually safe. 1,117 views. Hey, wait. Which one was that? Our rights to a free election. Let's have a little fun here, shall we? What's YouTube saying? Maybe YouTube can fix this little problem that we've bitched about for years now. "24 views on YouTube. That's missing quite a little bit from 1,117. "19 views on that one, plus the 5 from my group, because it's actually 2 separate posts, because I post one to the news feed and one to my group. Like I said, it's not about the numbers. It's about just growing yourself slowly. I've been on here for almost 2 years, I think. "172. That's actually 100 less subscribers than I have on YouTube. I got 73 now. My bad. My group, 154. It's about doing things slowly. Let people find it. Because you can't boost this group. I mean, you can. I know how to now after it was explained to me, but why? That's what it's done on its own by itself. Just by its name and the brand that I use. Word of mouth. I don't need algorithms to show my stuff. People will find it. And that's what you want. You want those people. Just like I know people's found you guys through the stuff I've shared. That's what it's supposed to be about. I shouldn't have to rely on YouTube. YouTube has no obligation to share my stuff. Neither is Twitter, Facebook, or the mines. They have no obligation or right to share my stuff. One, I know for a fact I'm not advertiser friendly. Here's something I found out the other day. Some of you might not be new to. We all know I had a little troll incident in my live call-in. And you know how much I hate having to delete anything off my channel. And what I was going to do was just put it private and just go take the downloaded video to an editing program and re-edit it. Which that's a lot of work for me, because then I have to, once I re-upload it, repost it in every site that it's posted on to replace the video that's no longer there. Come to find out, if you go into the editor section of your video, you can actually edit the video and actually edit. In my case, was editing a choice word and some choice words and music out of it that the troll wanted to use to try to get my channel suspended. Right here, I didn't have to take down the video or nothing. Didn't have to mark it private. I removed that little 5 seconds of audio twice, because it happened twice. He called in twice. Problem fixed. And it just edited itself and it's corrected. So, once more, props to YouTube for giving us the ability to do that so we don't have to remove our video because somebody's tried to screw it up for us. Like I said, sometimes you do got to point out the good things. You know, there's always pros and cons. We should be talking about the pros and cons. Some of the major cons is the censorship issue, and YouTube very aware of those. And we need to start taking a stand. We've seen it work. I mean, the Black Pigeon, they took his channel, and everybody, even people that didn't like him, came to his aid and came complaining to YouTube, and guess what? His channel's back up. It works. So why are we stuck in not doing it? So I'll be honest with you. When it happens to me, and it's just a matter of when, who's going to stick up for me besides me? And maybe the 5 people I can count on my hand. There's a dose of reality for you. How much you're despised within your own community. That's what happens when you take the unpopular stance. When everybody wants to run and you want to take a stand, you become the unpopular guy. Or when you have different opinions and views than everybody else, you become the unpopular guy. And quite frankly, yeah, I agree. My content's not that great. Don't have all the bells and whistles that everybody is. I'm not spending money to have all the bells and whistles. I'm not going to spend the time that could be spent building a new greenhouse, keeping my vehicles on the road. Of course, some of you would just pay somebody to do it for you. Yeah, I could do that too. In fact, I don't have to pay my graphics person to do it for me. She'll do it for free. For me. But that's because me and her are also business partners. They go clear back to the Ning days. Because if she needs something done, she asks and to get done, I'll do it for her. Watching out for each other's back like we have since '09. You know? Just like that whole community that we came from, that we built and rebuilt and rebuilt. Many of us are still friends and still got each other's backs. Might not be on this platform, but we're on other platforms. Like I said, you guys don't even realize how many different platforms there are. Some of you think you only got 72 followers or subscribers. You ain't nobody. Huh? Yeah. Maybe not on this platform. But then again, I'm also somebody that learns from mistakes. Learns that having so many people, what's the point? Why? What's the point? Stoke my ego? My ego don't need stoked. My ego needs to be always kept in check, just like everybody's ego should be kept in check. I don't need a God complex. Don't need to become a megalomaniac. Not a greedy individual either. It's nice to have, but it's also nice when you're on hard times like I am now to have. Because if I was greedy and bought all my wants, guess what? I wouldn't have something to fall back on in between jobs. And I'll be damned if I'm asking you guys for anything. Then I'd feel bad. Because that's my mentality. I'd feel like I'm taking charity. Yeah, technically I could be on unemployment. I'm not. Why? Because I'm fully capable of working. Give that unemployment to somebody that is not capable. Some people just like abusing systems. I was brought up different. I have a different set of views and opinions, and values and morals. You know what? And I'm blessed for it too because I don't have all the stress that everybody has. I don't worry about a lot of the everyday things that everybody worries about, which keeps me healthy. That's why at 41 I still can pass for my mid-20s. But those are things I've had to learn the hard way throughout the years. I've learned by experience. Just like I've learned by experience when it comes to the censorship crap, there is no perfect site. They all do it. Because technically, we could say the same even with the jury system on the mines. That is a form of censorship. The only difference is they're not banning you and kicking you off the platform and removing your content. Is it perfect? Is it the answer to everything? No. I can't upload nothing longer than a 15-minute video there. Oh God, I can't even do a 15-minute video if I tried. Trust me, I've tried. But then again, I can use archive.org to make my videos, upload there. Then I can put the link and upload it to there. So okay, there's a way around that. Or I can do my videos here on YouTube, which is how I do it. Okay, perfect. There's a way around that. Oh, wait. YouTube's getting rid of Hangouts on the air on the 1st. So I'm not going to be able to do like I do now. Well, I can go over to the mines and use the gathering. Oh, guess what? I can keep doing what I'm doing right from the mines, and still it'll be on YouTube. That's something I've been asking the mines in their support area to keep working on the app. Give us other places where we can stream to, or the ability to put our key streams from Restream in there. They do that, man. We got an awesome system put in place, and add the things that you got on the mobile part to the gathering part on the actual computer website part. Dude, we got a perfect system over there. Which shocked me. It's like, hey, wait, I can invite people? Why can't I do it from here? I'm going to do it from my phone. Like I said, a few extra steps, but it's communicating with people that are actually listening. That's just, yeah, we're going to make that change. We're slowly working on it. It's a work in progress. And they asked, well, try to get more people to use the app to show interest in it. But most people's philosophy, oh, let's run over to DLive. So don't tell me you support something and you're over there not using the tools that you got over there. And let's just take a stand. I'm not leaving YouTube. Not going to happen. And when they kick me off, I'm still not leaving. In fact, when that happens, oh boy, they're not going to like it when I come back. Because I'll be right back as soon as it happens. And guess what? I won't be missing anything. All my stuff's backed up. All my videos I've ever done have been re-downloaded, and I've been slowly uploading them to archive.org. You're not hurting nothing. Yeah, I might have to spend a week replacing links, but they're all ready to go. All I gotta do is pull open my WordPad that's got every link to every video with this title, and just focus on one site at a time, and everything's back up the way it was. I hope it never gets to that point, but I know it's just a matter of time. If we don't take a stand and everybody keeps running, yeah, it's just a matter of time. I'm eventually going to be the next one in line to get chopped. The only difference is I'm still not going to run. And that's the problem we're facing. We're running, and we're just gotten to the point where we just don't question nothing. Okay, I'm going to blindly go over here because everybody says this is the perfect spot. Do your research. Question everything. Do what you're supposed to do, what you claim you're good at. Because now I got to question if you were even good at it. Now I got to question, man, how much research you put into that content you just put up. Do I have to go re-research your work? Now I can't trust you. See where how that slippery slope gets? We start having to calling you on your own trust. Because the very same things you claim, you're doing the opposite of. I don't get it. Really don't. I really don't get how I'm the one that came across this. Should have been one of you guys. That's the part I don't get. Maybe that's what you should question. How didn't you catch it? And that should actually be the moral of the story here. How didn't you question it? How didn't you catch it? I mean, do you believe everything that glitters is gold? Yeah, I know some people do. Not you guys. I know better. You're just tired like everybody else. I get it. You just want to be left alone, be able to do the content you did. Well, guess what? I'm doing the content that I want to do. I'm still here. I'm still standing. No strikes, no blemishes. What did I do differently than you? Oh, some of you know what I did differently than you. Am I saying the way I did things is right? No. That's clearly stated. I think some of you should be rewarded for the things you've done. You should get paid for that content, especially the amount of time I know it takes to do research. Me, above all people, know the time that we put in doing the research, investigating the stuff. We shouldn't be punished for it. It shouldn't be used as a tool to censor us, control what we talk about. I agree 100% on those things. But it comes a point in time where, okay, you're going to use it against me, I'm going to stop doing it. Start getting more and more people to stop doing it. Guess what? Then they're going to start seeing, okay, maybe we need to chill for a bit. And that's all it's going to be for a bit. We know how the game works. But we don't let up. We keep addressing the issues. We keep taking a stance, not running. Running gets you nowhere. And eventually you're going to find yourself in a corner to where you're not going to have a choice. Well, you got two choices. Hopefully you choose right. And some of you will take the other choice and just bow down and give up completely. Because they've broken you down so much. They made you run so much. You know, kind of disappointed in a lot of people right now over this. Because, man, all you had to do was your research. All you had to do was question. Instead, you guys were all like the lamb before the slaughter. The blind following the blind. So, from some of you right now, I don't want to hear that you're awake. I don't want to hear anything about righteousness, questioning anything. Some of you, actions speak louder than words. Some of you, many of you, know better. I'm just going to put you in the same category I put Gab. You got to prove yourselves now. Now, when you post something, I'm going to have to research it before I share it. And guess what? I got my own stuff to research, so I'll put it on the back burner. I get to it when I get to it. Because that's about how I feel about this matter now. If I got to research my stuff, I shouldn't have to research your stuff, especially some of you that I trust very well. I know the work you go through it. But when you make a mistake, and you just keep following blindly and ignoring what's in front of you, ignoring when you should be questioning, I can't overlook that. And that's why we're so divided right now. Because stupid little things like this, running when we should take a stance, following blindly when we should be following no one, unless we appoint them to be a leader. I haven't appointed anybody to be a leader over me, because I don't follow anybody. And I'm not a leader, so don't go following me. Well-known fact that my friends will all tell you, I don't play well with others. I am much happier being the loner, and I like it that way. I don't like being pulled out of my element, even though I can, and I'm quite good at it. In fact, I'm working on pulling myself out of the element now by bringing more people on to Sons and Daughters of Liberty. But then again, by doing that, I'm freeing myself up to do other things. I'm watching Sons and Daughters of Liberty evolve to where I don't have to focus just on this anymore. But I'm still going to do things here because I love it. I love doing what I do. I'm going to be bringing on a co-host. I'm going to change things up. Why? Because eventually we do learn as we grow. We experience things. I got to experience what it's like to be a co-host. And yes, and I did, like I said, don't play well with others. Didn't like being the co-host. That's the ego thing. Because it wasn't mine. And eventually, the co-host will probably take my place. As I pass it on to somebody else. So I can start new adventures and new projects. Because that's what I'm good at. I'm good at creating things. That's where I get my enjoyment, creating things and watching them grow. Watching them fail and learning from the failure. Learning from the mistakes. I've made plenty of mistakes with Sons and Daughters of Liberty over the years. And I'm going to make mistakes down the line. It's about learning from them and not repeating them. So it's just as much as disappointed I am in a lot of people right now, I'm still going to share your work. Yes, I might fact check a little bit of it before I share it now. just because trust is earned, not given. You know, it's just like blindly following somebody. You blindly trust somebody without knowing them. How do you know you're following the right person? How do you know you're putting your trust in the right person? We all make mistakes. We all know that. Had to eat crow twice on this channel. Don't plan on repeating that again anytime soon. Even though I know it'll happen eventually, because it always does. We get caught up in something, especially something that's emotionally driven. So I, can't be the pot calling the kettle black when I've done the same thing on other topics. But you know what? I quickly caught it and corrected the record, which was actually good because it was a learning experience in itself. It took us down other roads that we didn't recognize. It allowed us to expand what we was investigating and searching and talking about. So sometimes mistakes are the best thing to happen. They open up other possibilities and doors. I try to keep these videos positive or end on a positive note just as much as I try to keep them educational and mind-provoking as possible as that I can. But truth, when it comes to speech, I'm better at writing than I am speaking. My talent is more towards the writing aspect. That's where I've thrived. It's also something I hate. How's that one for a love-hate relationship? Come to find out, I had a love for writing, even though I hate writing. I encountered the same problem when I first started streaming. Had to overcome. Still don't edit my videos. Unless I absolutely have to because of a troll. Even when I record a video, I don't edit it. Well, I can't stand to hear my own voice. Just like I can't stand being on cam or having my picture taken. I've had to overcome some of my own issues. And it's made me better for it. Now, don't bother me so much having my picture taken. Which is kind of cool now. Still not big on the cam thing, obviously. But I get to share the other side of it. I get to have a live share on my chat rooms and stuff. Or the content I'm reading. There's different aspects to things. And there's sometimes where, a face needs to be shown. And I do when I feel that it's more appropriate to actually not share screen and just share the person that's talking. These are things we've learned. I learned a lot of those things from watching you guys, which made doing this video even a little bit harder to do. Because this is me basically coming out and saying, you guys made a mistake. Nobody likes being told they made a mistake. Nobody likes being told that you didn't question, you didn't do your job. You didn't do what you always telling other people to do. And sometimes you need somebody to come up and say it. I hate being that guy. Didn't want to be that guy, but nobody else is going to. Everybody thinks that DLive is a free speech platform. And I just proved to you it's not. For those who are just tuning in, check out the links I got in the chat. Since the chat didn't go hasn't moved much. The links are still right on top. You'll see for yourself. Go back and watch the video. Basically skip about 5 minutes ahead and you'll get right on topic. Because and I'm going to tell you right now, it wasn't easy to find. which was the first red flag. And it bothered me the first day I did the research on it. It's like, man, what am I doing wrong? Why can't I find DLive in a search? Okay, let me go use a different browser. Nope, even worse there. Okay, and today I was like, screw it, let's go use Chrome. Go use Google. Well, yeah, I found something. Huh. As much as we complain, it has the biggest search database in existence right now. You just got to know how to use it. Got to know how to use your words. But still, use the other ones, because the more you use them, the more you're teaching it and building that search engine for that company. Because most of them are pulling their information from Google until their search engine gets built. The database is built up. I mean, I see people still using Start Page. I don't know why. As much malicious software is embedded in that program, which, we all fell victim to that one. So it made me hesitant to ever use any other search engine afterwards. But yet we all know, oh yeah, it just did a private search and kept your identity hidden while it searched Google. Still used Google. That's why, like I said, we train our browsers. We do. We train our search engines, much like our phones. When we text, we train it. So it pretty much will, oh, okay, I know what he's going to say next here. Yeah, check out all the links and do your own research. I mean, like I said, if you're on DLive, go read their terms of service. Oh, wait, there is none. Broken link. Been like that for a month. But read the community guidelines. Read the copyrights. Read the article about Alex Jones being suspended and banned from DLive. In fact, just type in Alex Jones channel. Click search. Oh, it's probably going to be doing it. Huh? He had a channel. Oh, wait. Has been suspended. Want to know why? Go read this article. Crypto platform DLive bans Alex Jones, sorta, which, mind you, the sorta part was because this was written in April 8th. But maybe courting PewDiePie, which we know PewDiePie is over on there, and he's the one that started the huge migration from YouTube to DLive on the false premises that this is a free speech platform. For the very reasons they banned Alex Jones, they acknowledge that PewDiePie is known for the same, or PewDiePie, whatever his name is notarized for the same thing. But read the whole article. There's things in here that allows you to go actually expand your search, where you can start looking into Leno or Lino, whatever it's pronounced. The earnings, who originally helped invest in it. I mean, why did they target PewDiePie? Because of his 93.6 million followers. The fact that he averaged 15.5 million off YouTubing at being a monetized channel. Find out that Lino raised 20 million from investors, including China's Zen Fund. Like I said, there's plenty of stuff to research just in this article. That's how I was starting to be able to find stuff. Found that more than one Chinese company is involved in the Leno blockchain, which gives them pretty much, well, a big say on things. Hence, when you go in their community guidelines and you see, you better mark yourself X. Click that X button if you're talking about controversial political news. If not, you will get suspended and banned, or your video will be terminated and various other things. But the red flag here is where's your terms of service? Loading, loading. Wait for it. Oh, doesn't exist. There, let's go ahead and click on it, just so you can see where it leads you. That way nobody can say I didn't properly show you everything. Error URL takes you to a WordPress site. Must be on exactly the same domain as the current web page. That is common sense. At least to me it is. But then again, who am I? I'm just an amateur web designer and platform builder that learned everything you need, learned everything about coding off YouTube. Nah, I don't know anything. I mean, I know how to work a WordPress site. I know how to build a site from scratch. I know how to do all the coding, so I know all the back end, including doing all the MSQL, building the databases, servers, back end stuff. Oh yeah, guess what? Plenty. You can learn all that here on YouTube, guys. Can't learn that on DLive, where your video disappears after 7 days. BitChute's getting there, but it still don't have all the stuff that's here on YouTube. Slowly getting there, but there's issues there, just like there's still issues on the mines. There's no perfect site, but I'll be damned if I'm going to be somebody that follows somebody to something saying, oh, this is a free speech platform. They don't suspend anybody. They don't ban anybody. Yeah? Set of lips will say anything. Did you do your research? Yeah? Apparently you didn't. So don't say yeah. Apparently you didn't read the terms of service or the community guidelines and realize, wait, this is the same bullshit that I read on YouTube, Facebook, DTube, Steemit, Gab. It's all the same TOS community. It's all the same legal jargon. In fact, it's copy and pasted from a website. Here's a free document of your TOS, community guidelines. All you do is put your domain name in or company name. Most people have forgotten how to be original and create their own stuff, their own branding, their own TOSs, their own stuff. Yeah, use that stuff as reference. Use it as, hey, we know this is wrong. Let's correct it. Let's use what's useful out of it and get rid of what's misleading and garbage. Then if you can afford it, sit down with an attorney to go over it. Or if you know somebody that's an attorney or knows law, have them go over it with you and help you. Yeah, because I get it. Not everybody's got that kind of money or got somebody backing you financially to do those things. You know, that's one place I was blessed. We had that backing when we was building our platform and doing all that stuff. Yeah, I had a lot to prove to them, but once I proved it, they didn't question. Because I was the one asking questions. Okay, if I do this, I want to implement this. Is there any issues? You know, we always got to be asking questions. I don't want them to ask questions. Because if they're asking questions, that means I didn't think of it. Now, when I'm done, I want them asking questions to make sure I didn't miss something or make sure I didn't get, or I got something wrong. I didn't realize it. But that's my thoughts on that. That's how I learn. It's how I learned in that process. That's why, you know, first thing about DLive, something didn't seem right. You know, so what did we do? We went and researched. Can't say we on this one. What did I do? I went and researched. And sure enough, you know, somebody came and mentioned something about China. dealing with when it came to DLive. I'm like, huh? Well, that's the first I've heard about that. Let me go research that, which allowed me to stumble across what I stumbled across today. Because, like I said, the first trips around trying to research anything on DLive was the first red flag. Well, the first red flag was our TOS not being there in the community service, matching everybody else's stuff. That was the first red flag. The second red flag was doing a research for it, not being able to find anything. It's like DLive doesn't exist. What, one article? And there's way better researchers out there than I am. I should know because I borrow a couple from time to time myself. Hey, I'm struggling on this. Can you see what you can find for me? Sometimes I'm so wrapped up, busy doing on other projects that I actually got to have somebody help me do the research. And I'm actually lucky I've got a few friends that don't mind doing it for me from time to time. Even though they say I'm just as good at it, I beg to differ. They find things that I don't catch. But we're all good in our own little niches. But like I said, I've said enough on this topic. Is DLive the answer? Hell no. In fact, DLive ain't no better than the rest. In fact, they're worse. They're manipulating people, tricking people, and deceiving people, and they're lying to you. Which is far different from the other platforms that just do it right in your face. I mean, that's the worst. That's some of the most underhanded stuff I've seen yet, and they're trying to hide it. That's not a place I want to be. And I hope that's not a place you want to be. Like I said, I'm sticking right where I'm at. The platforms that I'm on now, that's it. Any place else, and Gab's even on this list right here, you got to prove yourself. I'm not running. This is my main platform that I do my stuff on. It's going to be my main platform. Everything else is the backup. Mines I have my own dealings with for my own personal amusement, and I'm having fun over there. I'm enjoying to watch it grow just as much as I've enjoyed watching this channel grow and watching so many of your channels grow. Gab, I hope, proves themselves, because for as much flack as they're catching right now, I mean, they've got two blockchains say, no, we're not going to, nope, we're going to remove your domain from us. That says something. That says they're on the right path, but they got to prove themselves. The mines, at least to me, has proven themselves, and they're proving themselves daily. But the mines isn't for everybody, obviously, because most people say they want a free speech platform but don't understand what a free speech platform is. They say they want a place that's going to protect their rights, constitutional rights. Well, if you don't know what that really means, Minds isn't for you. Just like, truthfully, Twitter's not for you either, because Twitter has everything on it. We all know Twitter has porn on there. You're going to find all that stuff in one spot. When we're talking about a true free speech, freedom of expression, a site that protects the Constitution, you're going to find everything. You're going to find every opinion, view out there. Every religious belief out there, all on that platform. Why? Because they're being protected. They're allowing to have their free speech. They're allowing to have their freedom of expression. That's what a true free speech platform is, which is something that most people can't handle. because it goes against what they're taught. Oh, that's sinful. That shouldn't be shown. Well, go on mark your mature filter so you don't see it. Then if you do see it, because it's not marked with an E, report it. If it comes across the jury that I'm on and it's not marked with an E and it has nudity, it's going to get rejected. When I say rejected, that means that video, if the rest of the jury says the same thing, is going to be marked not safe for work, and the E is going to be put on it because they were supposed to do that because that's what it states in the TOS. If it's adult material, mark it not safe for work, which is marking it with an E. Common sense. If I'm going to sit here and drop F-bomb after F-bomb, I better mark it with not safe for work. Common sense. But yet I see people going after that content that has been marked with an E, that they did follow the rules, and that's harassment. That's infringing on that person's freedom of speech and freedom of expression. Just because you don't like it doesn't give you the right to report it because you're making a false report because they're obeying the rules. It's when they don't mark it not safe for work, when they're breaking the rules, and it should be reported. Like I said, I called it from the get-rip. The jury system was going to get abused, and it has. Channels have gotten marked, but I've also seen those channels get that not safe for work branding off them because you're allowed to appeal it. And hopefully the minds listen to a bunch of us, start punishing these repeat offenders that are intentionally harassing people because they don't like the content. That's how you break that cycle. That's how you stop it. If I file a false police report, guess what? I committed a crime. That is punishable. Which punishable for that is actually if you're caught harassing or spamming, which can be classed as either one, or bullying, you're removed from the platform. I can respect that. It's common sense. Get back to common sense. And like I said, this is mine for everybody to know, because most people don't have that mentality that, hey, everybody has a right to say what they want. Oh, and by the way, the other thing I like is you thumbs down my stuff over there. I see who thumbs down my stuff over there. And it's kind of interesting because somebody did it that's always thumbed up my stuff. It made me actually go back and rewatch something that I posted. And you know what? Hey, I'm glad he thumbs it down. I had something wrong, and I had to fix it. And, I was able to send him a message. Hey, good looking out. I didn't catch that. I don't go back and re-listen to my stuff. So he's like, I figured it's not like you to do that. He's like, that's why I hit the thumbs down. But I'm like, hey, cool. You didn't have to explain yourself. I was just curious because I've never seen you thumbs down any of my stuff. See? But most people, they're so triggered by that thumbs down because we've been taught that over here on YouTube and other places. It's like, it's an instant trigger. It's like, to me, it's like, shit, I did my job. I made you think and question. And it actually worked. When you knew somebody, that's what I'm glad they show it. Lets me know. It also lets me keep track of those that are intentionally just trying to spam my stuff. It gives me a documented record. Yeah, it is almost that time of the night. I'm ready to wrap it up. It's already 2 hours. I was actually ready to wrap it up about a half hour ago. But, do what you want with this video. Don't care. My stuff's free for anybody to use. Do what they want with it. I don't care. Share it. Don't. But, the moral of the story is, Don't follow anybody blindly because they say this is the perfect site. Do your research. Question everything. Like so many of you claim, but yet you so blindly followed everybody to DLive and started saying the same thing. No, I learned that lesson already when we were talking about all these young kids being the same. You know, oh, they don't get it. They're not awake. Bullshit. Go spend some time with some of them, like I did. Work with them. I'm talking about these young, real young college kids. They're more awake than you gave them credit for. But yet we just started being soundboards, sounding what everybody else is saying without even interacting with them. Yes, there's plenty that aren't, but there's a lot more than what you think. You know, this is a message to those guys, especially the ones I know that follow me now. Don't be scared to comment and interact in our chat rooms. You know by now, we've talked with some of you guys I've had this discussion with. There's nothing to be scared of in our chat rooms. You know, the interaction is actually good for you. And it does show to everybody else, hey, we're not what you guys think we are. We are awake. Like I said, some of these guys act more awake than some of these people claim to be awake. You know, because a lot of them say, "Oh, we're scared. We come in there, so we say something that could be misunderstood, or we don't get. And we ask a question. You're gonna jump all over us because you think we're all snowflakes or millennials." That was to jest of many of their concerns why they don't interact in our chat rooms. Something for everybody to learn a lesson from. I learned it, but it took me getting out and actually being around them, interacting, which led me to another area that eventually I'm going to do that put that investigation on video with the interviews I've got. I just got to work on disguising, masking voice and identity so they don't end up getting kicked out of college for telling the truth. You know, which is something else I've talked about, the responsibilities that we have. I mean, our number one responsibility when we're doing investigative work like that is to protect the people that give us the information. Our second responsibility is to, might as well say first, there's two first. First and second, figure out how you want to put them. The other ones, make sure we do our research, fact check everything, double check everything, triple check everything, and question everything. Do your due diligence. Don't just blindly report what somebody else keeps saying and everybody else keeps saying without actually investigating it. Don't go follow the leader blindly because everybody says this is the perfect platform. Do your research. And don't ever tell me, oh, they don't censor somebody at DLive. I just showed you they do. You guys all have a good night.